guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for choosing to watch another one of my videos. Right now I'm dressed like this because today's video is about Carmen and this red and white. I'm dressed like this because red and white are the colors of her dress. This Carmen season will be shown in 3 parts. This is part 1 of 3. This ballet is special to me because I've danced it 3 times at 3 very different periods of my career. I got to play the lead role of Don José the past 2 times I performed this ballet, and the last time I performed it was this year. This version of Carmen is by Veronica Paper and it's one of my favorites. Carmen tells the story of an innocent young soldier, Don José, who is seduced by a fiery gypsy woman known as Carmen. Don José abandons his childhood sweetheart, Michaela, who he's engaged to. He chases after Carmen, but things get very complicated and very dark. You must keep watching till part 3 of my Carmen series to see how things end. Carmen is set in Spain. This version is set in the 1800s. Act 1 starts outside the cigarette factory where all the cigarette ladies work, including Carmen. There are lots of soldiers outside the cigarette factory, all men, who are flirting with the cigarette ladies who are all on a break from work. That's where the ballet begins. Don José is also one of the soldiers, but he's not too interested in flirting, or definitely not interested in Carmen, would never do anything, and that's where the story gets very complicated. I'm going to take you behind the scenes and we're going to see everything from the start. Act 1, outside the cigarette factory. Carmen, her entrance. Wow. She is a bitch. In a good way. She really makes a statement with this entrance, and she loves the attention. All the soldiers can't get enough of her. They're all running towards her and she loves it. The cigarette girls are all definitely jealous. But yeah, I just love that entrance. The hair flips, the attitude. She's really announcing who she is and setting the stage, setting the whole vibe for the ballet, which is just full of drama. And that red underneath the dress is very key. Tells her that she's a bad woman. And here is the dress actually in the costume room. Thought I'd have a look at it. It's white on top and then underneath is some red, which means she's an ominous, dangerous woman. And like roses on the white. It's very pretty. Iconic costume. So beautiful, and it's been around since the 80s, even though the ballet is set in the 1800s. A very old production. And here I am. You know, this is really behind the scenes. I'm getting into character. I'm getting ready to play as Don José, who is the victim in this ballet. Carmen definitely hunts him down and ruins his life. And Don José, yeah, he's very innocent, he's sweet, he's Christian Catholic. And that's my partner. He's helping me do my hair. Veronica Paper, who's a choreographer, and you know, she made this ballet. Eating some salted cracks. She wanted my hair slicked back so I get a Spanish look. And I did that, you know, gotta do what the choreographer wants. But yeah, I played the role of Don José before many times, and this time I really tried to play him the best I've ever done before. I really tried to understand his psychology, understand what this character's going through. I tried to, you know, play it the best as I could. So I might not get to play the role again. So I really wanted to do it justice for myself. As Miles Carrott played Don José, you know? And I'm just doing my makeup, my signature eyeliner, and I always line my eyebrows. It adds a lot of drama, and then I smudge in my eyebrows. I like doing a little flick, a little cat eye. I think it helps with, you know, the beauty. Try and look beautiful on stage, even though, you know, it's about Carmen. Don José, you don't want him to look, you know, Yes, I always smudge up my eyebrows, so I feel like it really helps show the emotion on stage. And that's my mascara. I tried a new one this time. This one was really full and it really helped my eyelashes come out, and it was really nice. I pull very strange faces when putting on makeup, but you know, I don't wear makeup on the daily. Only on stage do I wear stage makeup. And if I'm doing a main role, then I have to make sure I look cool, you know, or professional. You know, I want to do justice to my craft on stage. But yes, I love doing the eyebrows, the mascara and the eyeliner, and yeah, just really blending it all in. I also did lip liner in the end. Not fully, just a little bit. I'll show you. You see, I just did my lips a bit. And I always do mascara on my eyebrows because it helps it all go up. I did a bit of a mistake there, but I got rid of it. And here is the first look of me getting into the costume. The soldier's costume, that's how Don José starts in Act One. There's his necklace because he's a Christian and he believes in God very deeply. I also feel like I believe in God, but Don José, he really takes it to a new level, and he wears his necklace and keeps it with him when he's on duty as a soldier. Little bandana I put to scent my hair, and that's his rifle. Really cool. I may be holding this rifle wrong, but I don't think I am. I play a lot of video games, but I guess that's different. And there's Michaela. She was my Carmen, or rather, I was her Don José, because the ballet's about Carmen. I thought that was a very, you know, Barbie and he's just Ken moment, because I actually saw the Barbie movie recently, but obviously Carmen is, you know, not sweet like Barbie. She's quite a psychopath, and poor Don José is a victim. And here he is. Here's our rehearsals of Act One. After he's met Carmen, she's thrown a rose at him and teased him flirtatiously. So now he's just completely distressed because he's already engaged to Michaela. So he's just kind of panicking and he's kind of being conflicted between this bad woman. And if you can imagine, the cigarette factory is behind here, and he grabs onto the gates and looks at her as she's just gone back to work. Actually, the boss lady called her in back to work. And yeah, and there's the rose. I had rehearsals. This is my first rehearsal, and I was rehearsing with Lauren Perenia, who was a principal in her time. She's principal roles, and the rehearsals with her were really good. But I also was very fortunate to have rehearsals with Stéphane Pavarin, who was from the Paris Opera, and he has amazing experience. He also did principal roles. You know, Paris Opera Ballet is one of the best ballet companies in the world in Paris, France. So to have him and Lauren, you know, it was amazing. He gave me such good tips because Don José is really different to who I am as a person. So he really transformed me, like, you know, how I walk, how I stand, and my mannerisms. I had to completely transform, and I very much treated this role like an acting role. And there's Michaela, you can see her. Her hair is amazing. Working with Michaela was a lot of fun. She's very beautiful. And our cast, us together, we're both, you know, we're both black. And she's of Indian descent and I'm of Caribbean descent. And we both looked like the Carmen Jones movie starring Dorothy Dandridge and the other guy, Belafonte is his second name, but together they are an amazing cast. I've seen the movie, but rehearsing and working with Michaela was really a lot of fun. She's very beautiful, gorgeous, very much Cleopatra vibes, and her hair is massive and long and so beautiful, like, you know, so much curls. And she's called Big Hair Ballerina on Instagram, and rightfully so, because her hair is really beautiful and very long. And this is the first dance I have after Carmen has been arrested. She's been very bad. She's stabbed a woman in the back in the village because she's a psychopath, and she's teasing Don José. His commander-in-chief of the soldiers gave him handcuffs and he tied her up. and she's trying to get her way out of this situation. Just like the movie, if you've seen, and the opera, it's a very classic production. But Carmen is, you know, using her feminine wiles to try and get herself out of the situation. You kind of love that. And poor Don José is like, you know, he's a saint and he's like not used to this kind of naughty behavior. So she's really teasing him, showing her breasts there. That's what the choreography is. And she's getting up slowly, and this is the classic tune. This very famous song is from Carmen. I'm sure you've heard it. It is slightly spread up a little, but I'll put the song in the description so you can have a listen. But yeah, rehearsing with Michaela was a lot of fun. I just felt like we both tried to do our characters justice, and she went for it. She was beautiful. Part 2 will be in costume and on stage, so you'll at least get to see us more on stage and what it was like. But actually, the Carmen Jones movie, we both looked like, you know, the cast who played that in Hollywood. I watched that. I love that moment. Yes, I watched that movie with my sister in the Caribbean. We were on holiday and there was actually a hurricane. And we watched the film because we had to stay in shelter for 24 hours. My sister and I, and we loved the character of Carmen. We thought she was amazing. And that was before I even joined this ballet company or came to South Africa. So that when I realized Carmen was a ballet here, I was fascinated and I understood the story. And yeah, I built up and got to play the leading role eventually, so that's fun. And now Carmen is just rehearsing and getting corrections from Lauren and Stefan about how to, you know, use her technique for ballet, but also show the seductiveness of Carmen. And yeah, you know, as a ballet dancer, we just have to listen, and we're so lucky to be rehearsed by people who have had such great careers in this rehearsal. Take the feedback and apply. And yeah, the powder drill was interesting. It was dancing together. Here's some rehearsal shots of us, kind of promotional images that I used on my Instagram. You can go see them. And this is all from Act One rehearsal photos. And that's Paige, who played the fiancée, Michaela. And yeah, that's when he finds a rose and he's being conflicted and he has to choose between God and his fiancée and Carmen. So yeah, poor Don José. Right, and here is a costume rehearsal in the studio of the Act One dance. And you can hear the music a bit better. And she is really trying to get out of this situation. And Don José is just quite terrified of this very bad woman. He runs back to grab his necklace, which is on the chair, and it's of Christ, it's a cross, and he looks at it, and I'm like weeping, and I'm really just trying to stay with God, you know, against this very bad woman, fiery gypsy woman, Carmen, naughty Carmen. But this floor moment is iconic. It's performed by a lot of ballerinas since, you know, the late 70s, 80s in South Africa, and Michaela did the role a lot of justice. Her hair really works with her here when she's looking at me. Love that bit. Carmen really is, you know, she's bad. There's a famous tune again. Hair whips. This ballet is full of hair whips, which made Michaela the perfect Carmen. She's always whipping her hair and doing shoulder rolls and showing off the red under her skirt. As you can see, her entrance is very dramatic. It's actually one of my favourite entrances I've ever seen for a main character, a main female character in a ballet. She almost escapes and I try and stop her, but you know, she's teasing Don José. And you know, as Don José had a lot of help with his character, you know, to be told how he's reacting to the situation. She's basically showing him his breasts there. This ballet is not for children, honestly. And you'll see, because the next part of this video, part 2, I'll show you a lot more, and it's really, the themes are quite, you know, not for kids. So it was interesting to play a ballet like this. She's like, please free me. and Don José just gets down and takes the handcuffs on. She was arrested for being very bad, and he freed her, which he shouldn't have. So now he's given in to her feminine wiles. Her tricks have worked, and she's got herself free. So, yeah. But soon people are going to come and discover what's been happening. So, stay tuned to see what happens. And here's some screens, some lovely photography shots of Act One. That's when Carmen first shows herself to Don José, and he is so stressed. Don José is very tormented, and this photography was by Kim Stevens. Lovely photos. That's Don José before he's seen Carmen with his rifle. Act One is just full of drama. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. And there's Paige McElliott, who plays the fiancée. She's very sweet. And that's the first dance they do together when she tries to be freed. Her hands are tied behind her back. This video was a lot of fun, so I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Please let me know what you think, and part 2 will be coming soon, so make sure you come back to watch part 2. Bye guys, bye.